All right, let's speak to Mpumalanga's Denosa Provincial Secretary. That's Cyril Mdluli, who joins us now. Just a little bit more about this story. Cyril, thank you so much for your time. What do we know so far? Has anything changed since my colleague Mweli was speaking to those employees and stuff, just this past weekend even?
No, good morning. Yes, there has been some changes. We are told that the service provider has spoken to the securities, and we can confirm that the night duty staff did come in on duty and they were working. So we hope that by the end of today, they will have solved all these problems.
Okay, so does that mean that the salaries have come in, or is that just as a way to kind of find a middle point to say, we'll work for now, but we want our salaries?
When they spoke to them yesterday, they had indicated that their salaries would have been in today. So they were working with the hope that the salaries would have been in today. But what we want to indicate further than that is that this has really caused a serious disruption on the health services. Because you'll remember that in 2025, most of our facilities have been attacked by community members based on the issue of security. So when the facilities are not secured, this really becomes a serious challenge for our workers. And we maintain to the Department of Health and Safety to say that the Occupational Health and Safety Act clearly indicates that the employer has a responsibility to provide a safe working environment. And in this past weekend, the employer has failed to do that.
So what is happening then out at Rob Ferreira, Themba and Barberton? Are those all three hospitals where you saw night shift workers and security all available and working for that time being? And what is the sustainability thereof? If the payments are not in bank accounts today, does that mean a strike then will commence and workers will no longer be at their posts?
Yes, if my understanding is that if the securities are not receiving their salaries today, they will continue. But them continuing then will indicate that our healthcare workers themselves must distance themselves from the unsafe working environment. So by having securities on strike, it then implies that ourselves, we might not be on strike, but we cannot be working on an unsafe working environment.
Are you able to share?
And the securities at Rob Ferreira, some of them were paid, but they were not paid the correct amount. Some of them got paid 500 rand, some of them got paid 200 rand. And to us, the service provider is just playing mind games. But what is disturbing is that when the service level agreement was signed, we clearly spoke to the HOD of safety and security, and we indicated such that she must try by all means to speak to the service providers that such instances should not be happening. If safety and security has paid the service provider, then there should never be a delay to pay the workers. So we are in support of what the workers are doing, because we might not be organizing securities, but at the end of the day, they are workers and they should be getting their salaries in time.
Do you know what the reason is? Are you able to share what the reason is behind why they're not getting their salaries? What is the reason that the employer has been stating?
From the safety and security, they are indicating that they've paid the service provider, and the service provider is indicating that he has paid the security personnel. But when you speak directly to the security personnel, like I'm saying, some of them have not received their full salaries. So no one knows the reason, because the service provider is stating that he has paid them. Hence, we are saying probably he's playing mind games, and the Department of Safety and Security should be taking this as a serious matter and try and find out what is really happening. In the event that such is going to happen again, then such services should be terminated. Hence, as a union, we've been saying for the longest time that the insourcing should come in place. Security personnel should be employed by the Department of Safety and Security, and this tender system should be gone away with. And hence, we are also hearing the security personnel saying that they are receiving little money or peanuts, but that is based because of the tender system. So if we insource the securities, we will not be in such a problem at the moment.
All right. I mean, that, I think, tells the full story here as well. Have there been any reports of violence, theft, intimidation, etc.?
No, luckily, we haven't received any. But we know that in Barberton, because Barberton is one of the most high spot areas in terms of these disturbances if there are no securities. You'll recall that last year, the community members came in and fought in front of staff members, and security personnel couldn't do anything about it. So in casualty in Barberton, our healthcare workers could not work at all based on that, because they were scared and they were fearing for their lives. And that is understandable. And hence we are saying that the mere fact that securities are not there, community members take advantage of the situation, including criminals. We have seen this issue of safety being a problem across the province. So immediately when there's no security personnel, it becomes a problem. Even now, the security personnel that we are having in our facilities are not enough. So when we are saying in-source, we know for sure that the department will also employ more securities.
Yeah.
But having said that, we want to indicate that in Mpumalanga, it's probably the only province where safety is being controlled, where security or these service providers are being controlled by Department of Safety. In all other provinces, they are controlled by the Department of Health. And that on its own, it's a problem because we can't speak directly to them, or the Department of Health can't speak directly to the service provider. They need to rely to the safety and security.
Cyril, it's certainly a long-standing fight, and we certainly hope that it gets resolved very soon for the livelihoods of those security guards as well as anybody that uses those healthcare facilities. Cyril Mdluli, appreciate your time this morning. Mpumalanga Provincial Denosa Secretary.